Hello there, Lunar Squadron, and welcome back to the channel. For just a moment, I want to take you back in time a little bit. I want to take you back to the Summer Game Fest with the surprise appearance for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. This shocked pretty much everybody around the world who's into this Spider-Man 2 game that it made an appearance there. And at this showcase, Brian Indihar teased that there might be some additional Marvel characters that will make an appearance in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and this really got the gears in the heads of both Andreas and I turning about who could he possibly be talking about, and it got us thinking, who would we like to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2? So we sat down and put together a list of the top 5 characters that we need to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, of course, this is just a matter of our opinion. We don't know if this makes sense at all for the overall story of the game. These are just characters that we know, that we love, and that we would love to see in a new Spider-Man game, and we would love to see Insomniac's take on some of these characters. Now, before we get into this list, if you're new to the channel, we would love to have you as always, and the way to do that, just go down below this video, hit that little subscribe button, the bell notification right on next to it. It'll notify you every single time Andreas and I upload. Now, with all of this out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into our list.
Coming in at number 5 on our list is the original Spider-Man villain. I'm talking about the very first villain to appear in Spider-Man comics, that being the Chameleon. Now, this one is a really cool potential feature for this game, primarily because we know that Kraven the Hunter is going to be in this game, and Kraven's half-brother is the Chameleon, Kraven's half-brother being Dmitry Smerdyakov. Both of them coming from Soviet Russia. We do know that they have a very complex relationship, that they have almost an abusive relationship between the two of them, but I really do think that this would be a really cool relationship to flesh out in Insomniac's Spider-Man 2. I think that this is really the time to introduce Chameleon, if you are going to introduce Chameleon at all, just given his complicated relationship with his half-brother, Kraven. And I really think that there is a great opportunity for that tie-in with this game specifically, especially if Kraven is going to meet his demise in this game, which is a whole conversation for another day. But I really think if you're going to introduce Kraven to this story, especially if he's going to be the big bad at the end of the road, this would just be a really great chance to have that tie-in. And I think it makes perfect sense because, as you know, the Chameleon's power is his ability to present as other people. So he really could be anyone in this universe. He is particularly known for disguising himself as Peter Parker even. And so I think there's just an opportunity there. He can disguise as pretty much anyone in this cast. Hell, for all we know, he could be, disguised as Kraven himself at this point. So I really do think that there's an opportunity for it, and it would just be really cool to see for me.
Coming in at number 4 on our list is one of the most popular and one of the most well-known characters in all of the Spider-Man comics and storylines, and that is Gwen Stacy. Now, this is a character that I think is fresh on the minds of pretty much everybody given the recent release of Across the Spider-Verse, and it is a character that has seen many different takes on the character from the various different companies and studios who have done various different Spider-Man storylines. And a big reason I would like to see Gwen Stacy in this game is just because I would like to see what Insomniac would be able to do with her character. Insomniac brought a more fresh twist on MJ in the first Spider-Man game and made her, get more involved in the action. And I would just really like to see what Insomniac could do with Gwen Stacy, who is another and the original love interest for Peter Parker. I would just really like to see how they're able to flesh out all of these different relationships and just what they would do with her character.
Coming in at number 3 on our list is Carnage. Now, I know that there's a great argument to include Carnage in this game, and that is, when there is Venom, when we have the Venom symbiote, Carnage is not too far away. I think that it is just on topic for this game, so to speak. But the counter argument to this one is you've already got Kraven, you've already got Lizard, you've already got Venom, you've got Norman Osborn, who's rising into the ranks as solidifying into his Green Goblin role. Is this game going to be packed with way too much? I mean, that's all not to mention that you have 2 protagonists in this game as well. So would this game just be way overwhelmed by the inclusion of Carnage? Probably. But Nick, wouldn't it be damn cool?
It would be incredibly cool to see Carnage make an appearance in this game. It is one of the characters that my mind immediately went to after Venom was revealed to be in this game, because just the symbiote was on the mind, and Carnage is one of my favorite villains in all of Spider-Man. I just enjoy what that character is. He's like Venom, but he looks cooler and he's more violent, and I just really have always enjoyed Carnage ever since I was first introduced to him back in the Ultimate Spider-Man comic line. I was terrified of him, and it was honestly one of the first Spider-Man villains that I was genuinely terrified. So I would love to see what Insomniac could do with this villain. Now, to be honest, I think, like you said, given everything going on in this game, all of the villains that are going to be in this game, we already know that there's going to be at least 3 of them in some regard. I think it's probably a little too messy to get Carnage involved. I don't see how he would fit into this story, so maybe save him for Spider-Man 3. But if I was given the option to greenlight Carnage for Spider-Man 2, I can tell you right now, I would not say no to that. I would love to see him in this game. I just don't know if it makes practical sense. But I'd love to see Carnage. He's one of my favorite characters.
You know, Nick, just hearing you say that and kind of just sitting here with my wheels turning, if I had to somehow fit Carnage into Spider-Man 2, how cool would a Carnage DLC pack or like DLC offshoot story be? Just like a Carnage pack that just kind of focuses on that timeline in this universe. You got a big Spidey world, you've got Brooklyn and Queens now. Like, that would just be maybe a cool way to broach that. Maybe it would feature on our top list of DLC content.
Yeah, that would be a great way to actually do Carnage's story, is do a standalone DLC after the fact for him. I think that'd actually be a great way to do it. I think actually that'd probably be the perfect way to do it for me personally. So Insomniac, if you're listening, you need some DLC ideas, consider a Carnage DLC. It'd be pretty cool. We would love it. Coming in at number 2 on our list, and honestly number 1 and number 2 are interchangeable for me at least, is Daredevil, Matt Murdock himself. This is a character that I would absolutely love to see make an appearance in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Daredevil was one of my favorite superheroes growing up. I just really enjoy the character. I really enjoy his relationship with Spider-Man. I always loved when these two would team up. It was always something that was very special for me when this would happen. Again, they have an established relationship. It makes a lot of sense. We have seen plenty of references in Insomniac's first Spider-Man game to Matt Murdock, to Daredevil. We know he exists in this universe. To me, this is probably the cameo or the character that makes the most sense to make an appearance in this game, and the one that I would be the least shocked by to make an appearance. I really hope they find a way to work Daredevil into this game, just because I would really love to see these two team up, even if it's for a brief fleeting moment or it's just a cameo. I would just like to see Daredevil.
Nick, I hugely subscribe to this one tinfoil hat theory online that there has been a growing presence of Matt Murdock in Insomniac Spider-Verse. So let me elaborate a little bit. So in the first game, you had Nelson and Murdock's law office in Hell's Kitchen, and then in Miles Morales, the eviction notice that was posted on the law firm in the first game was removed from the firm. And so it looks like there's a growing presence of Matt Murdock, a growing presence of Daredevil in the Insomniac Spider-Verse. And I'm wondering if, Matt Murdock's operations are going to be fully flourishing in this next game, and he's going to be a tie-in. Maybe that is a signal. And you guys know there are tons of Easter eggs about Daredevil that are packed into this game. You've got the business card, the Nelson and Murdock business card. You've got Josie's bar, which is a landmark in the game. There's so many other Easter eggs that are kind of packed into Insomniac Spider-Verse, so we know that they have an affinity for this character. So I think it'd be a match made in heaven. I'm greenlighting it. Yeah,
it would be frankly awesome. And to be honest with you, if Daredevil does make an appearance in this game, it's hard to imagine having a storyline or having a dynamic where we see Spider-Man and Daredevil team up and Wilson Fisk not somehow be involved in that story. It would just be shocking to me if that were the case. But at the end of the day, like I said, I think this makes the most sense out of all of these characters we're picking to see in this game, just given what you said, that it seems like they're laying the seeds for him to make an appearance in their game, and they have such a well-established relationship, that being Spider-Man and Daredevil in the comics. We've seen it in shows, we've seen it in film. It would just be a great idea. I would love to see him, even again, if it's just for a fleeting moment. I would just like to see Daredevil.
I'm sure you can all guess what comes in at number 1 on our list. I'm talking about Wolverine. So we know that Insomniac's next big project is going to be this Wolverine game, and we've yet to see any official framework for a continuity between Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. And so this is the time to lay that continuity, to give us that look ahead as to how Insomniac is going to be passing the torch from this continuity of Peter Parker and Miles Morales to Wolverine. And so I'd love to see that happen in this game. I think everybody would love to see that happen in this game. And Nick, this particular story, given the Venom tie-in, is the perfect place to lay those Wolverine seeds, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would be a cool callback to the Ultimate Spider-Man line and game where you actually play as Venom and take on Wolverine, which I remember experiencing that for the first time as a kid, and I thought that was like one of the craziest things I'd ever experienced in gaming, because I was used to playing as Wolverine, but this time I was playing as Venom and taking on Wolverine, and it caused many mixed emotions, we'll just say, because for me personally, when I was a kid, Spider-Man and Wolverine were my two favorite heroes, so I wasn't in love with the concept of having to beat Wolverine, but it is a memory that has stuck with me forever, that fight. And it would be really cool to see them rehash something like that in this game, but I don't think that is likely. Now, while I said Daredevil makes the most sense for me, given what Insomniac has set up, I think Wolverine making an appearance in this game is the most likely scenario, but not in the traditional sense. There have been rumors that have been going around for months that Wolverine would somehow make a cameo appearance in Marvel Spider-Man 2, but the sense is that it's not going to be in the game. He's not going to be a side character, a supporting cast member that's going to help you throughout your journey of the game. More so, the likely scenario here is he serves as a post-credit scene. He is in the post-credit scene to help establish the next game from Insomniac, that being Marvel's Wolverine, to help set that up and perhaps, like you said, provide some continuity between how Spider-Man could or might even should connect to Marvel's Wolverine. I'm not sure if they are going to connect. We don't know for sure. But if Wolverine is going to show up in this game, for me, the most likely scenario, and I think for everybody, is in a post-credit scene. But at the end of the day, this one seems like the most likely to show up in this game. And I think for that reason, that's why we placed it so highly and at number 1 on this list. But I would just, again, like Daredevil, I would love to see Wolverine. He's one of my all-time favorite heroes. It would be, I'm just sitting here thinking about the possibility of getting a game that has Daredevil, Wolverine, and Spider-Man in it, and it's like my childhood's dream come true. That would just be so special to me.
Well, there you have it, guys. Those are the top 5 characters that we need to see in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Let us know in the comments down below which of these 5 characters you would all love to see in the next installment of Insomniac's Spider-Verse, and alternatively, if we left any characters that you need to see in this game off of our list, go ahead and let us know in the comments down below which characters would you love to see in this game. I know there's got to be a lot of people with all sorts of ideas as to who could show up in this game. For a lot of people talk about wanting to see, for example, Tony Stark in this game. So let us know in the comments down below. We love to read through all of your comments. Also, one final plug for this game. If you are new to the channel, we'd love to have you in our Discord. The link to join the Discord is in the description down below, so you're all welcome to join our Discord. It's a great opportunity and forum to chat with both Nick and I and other subscribers, so you're all welcome. However, that's going to do it for this discussion. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, we will see you all in the next video.